everyone, and welcome once again for revision sessions on OCM. Today we are going to be talking about the question bank which has been given by the Maharashtra State Board. Considering the pandemic year, last year itself, Maharashtra State Board has been kind enough to give a suggestive question bank. Please do not think that every possible question in the paper has to be from the question bank. Not necessary for sure. It is basically a practice paper. It is a revision which the board would love the students to do. So let us try and practice a few questions. I would request everybody to note down the answers. I'm sure you have a PDF of the question bank given by the board. It will be really advisable if you could take the printout of the question bank of the Maharashtra State Board. So if you will even Google it, you can easily download the question bank. All the subjects, majority question banks have been uploaded on the site. So you can Google it and download it. So if you have a printout, it will be easier for you to practice this entire question bank answers that we are going to be discussing. However, you may take a book and make the notings of all the answers that we are marking. Thereafter, you can take the printout or whichever way you find it convenient to discuss, or you can keep coming back to the video and going through all the objectives. So let's begin right away. We're going to be talking about the first type of question which appeared. So if you see, the question bank has been officially given by the Maharashtra State Board office itself. So we begin with the subject of OCM. Like I said, the entire question paper need not necessarily be from these questions, should be noted. So they have clearly said that these are just, a kind of a summary, a kind of a revision they're offering to us. So let's start with the first part that they have in the question bank, and that is select the appropriate option, rewrite the complete sentence. So as we know, in our board exams, we expect around 10 different types of objectives. They're giving us a practice of complete the sentence, select appropriate option, true or false, etc. From these, amongst these, you can have other different types also, like correct the underlined word. They are also giving us a practice of odd one out as we will go further down in the question bank. So we start with the very first objective that you have. Entreprendre means to undertake. All right, so it's a French word. The chapter, it will be very wonderful if you identify the chapter from which this objective has been asked, and that's your chapter number 3, entrepreneurship development. Moving to the second one, dash is a function which activates, which supports to activate the plans with the help of employees. All right, so activating the plans. It does not mean anything to do with planning. It's among the three. If you will see, they are talking about the actual function of carrying out the activity, and that is the directing function. So we see here that from the other options, you can be very sure that the answer has to be directing. Now, once you are doing this kind of an objective, please remember that this particular sentence could also be memorized for the purpose of answer in one sentence. Okay, so the same objective could be used in different ways. Suppose you have corrected the underlined word and the sentence was staffing is the function which supports to activate the plans with the help of employees. Then you have to correct the underlined word staffing, change it as directing is the function which supports to activate the plans with the help of employees. All right. Once again, like this objective has always been very, very popular. One of the two fathers will be there in the board exam. Scientific management, F.W. Taylor. Henry Fayol is father of modern management. Startup India, the next objective. Startup India is an initiative of Government of India. All right, so we have this under, you have the concepts of BPO, LPO, KPO, Thereafter, you have Startup India, Stand Up India, and this is agro-tourism. These are the places where you have one of the objectives there. Like I have discussed in my other videos, these are more important for objectives and not really very important for maybe short notes. Again, from the chapter of entrepreneurship development. Scalar chain means hierarchy of dash from top to lower level for the purpose of communication. As soon as you read this, please remember we are talking about chapter number 2. That is, chapter number 1, that's principles of management. And the answer to this is scalar chain is the hierarchy of authority. Please try and memorize these sentences. They may be useful to you in other types of objectives. In dash policy, subject matter is insured for a specific voyage irrespective of time. So you have 3 types: voyage policy, time policy, mixed policy. Voyage is with respect to a particular journey. Time policy is with respect to a particular time period. And mixed is a combination of the two. Correct? So here, irrespective of time, so we're talking about voyage policy. The function of management starts with, somehow, this very simple definition is very popular with everybody, keeps coming, starts with fundamental function or starts with this, and it ends with controlling function. Its objective there, the term market is derived from the Latin word mercatus. So please remember, as I have always been mentioning in my revision lectures on each chapter, we have marked 99% of all of these objectives. The next one we see here. So again, this is from the chapter of marketing. As I said, in order to remember the answers well, please first identify which chapter is this belonging to. Some of them are very clear. Others you may have to think which chapter it is. So in a competitive world, consumer is regarded as the king. If you check your textbook, in 3 different places this has been covered. The government has established dash to settle consumer disputes by compromise. So this again comes from the chapter of consumer protection. That there is a topic where we have 7 ways and means of settling consumer disputes. And under that, the first one you have is Lok Adalat, also known as People's Court. The second most important objective is the word compromise. So under Lok Adalat, please remember, disputes are settled by compromise. The 11th one you see, businessmen are said to be trustees of the society. Now, which topic in our syllabus could have this? If you don't really remember, please, you must know it's from the chapter of social responsibilities, as well as there is a section on marketing also where this objective is covered. Moving ahead, we have warehouse creates dash utility. Please remember, 2 places in your textbook has this. One is the chapter 4th chapter on business services, where you have one of the 3 services for this year's syllabus is warehousing. Apart from this, in the last chapter on functions of marketing topic, you have the same objective. And there you also have that transport creates place utility. So in the first part, though transport creates place utility, transport is deleted, it is still there in the last chapter. Moving ahead, principle of dash is not applicable to life insurance. Please remember, this objective is either coming as an objective or it is definitely coming as a justified question, a hot favorite with the board. You have to actually work out a wonderful answer for this. And the correct answer here is indemnity. So indemnity says no profit can be made out of contract of insurance. You cannot get more than the actual loss suffered. In life insurance, you cannot calculate the cost and the benefit of that insurance. You cannot value human life. And so, principle of indemnity is not applicable to life insurance. Correct? So we go moving ahead. Business is a dash activity. It is a socio-economic activity. So when you see this topic, please remember what is this particular. So business is definitely not a non-profit activity. Neither is it a charitable activity. I think the socio-economic becomes a very obvious answer there. However, you must identify the chapter. We're talking about social responsibilities of a business organization, where we mentioned that business is a socio-economic activity. We move to the next part there. If you'll see here, you have in online shopping, customers put the product in the shopping cart or in an account or a digital cart. I think very obvious. So we are talking about the chapter of e-commerce. Ideally, it would be really wonderful if actually you flip through the pages of your textbook, go to the chapter of e-commerce, emerging modes of business, actually look up to this part on stages of placing an order, and there you will find how the entire steps have been explained, and where you'll find this word shopping cart. If you have done this once, you will never ever lose out on any of the objectives. So this completes the first part of the question bank questions, and here we now begin with the second type of objective that we have, and that is match the correct pairs. I would like to draw your attention to this particular match the pair. If you will see the exercise on the last page of the chapter of management functions, in the chapter of management functions, exactly the same match the pair set has been given. So it will be really simple for you to find the answers. However, we will just take a look out here, and you will see that planning, okay, the function of planning can be defined as the deciding in advance what to do, how to do, and where to do it. All right, so this is the answer you have for the planning function. Then again, you have organizing. So if you will see here that the answer to organizing is decides the ways and means in which you will be actually pulling out achieving the desired goals. So that is your answer for the organizing function. I think staffing is one of the easiest that we can have. If you'll see the staffing function here, the staffing function is nothing but the process of recruiting, selecting, placing. So if you see here, I think it's very, very clear that all of this could be used as, one line meaning, definition, in distinguish between, even when you're writing maybe a long answer. So all of these one-line meanings are really relevant everywhere, almost everywhere. So if you will see the answer for coordinating function, coordinating is an integration and synchronization of efforts of a group. All right. Directing function again is for basically the process of instructing, guiding, communicating, and motivating. So this is how we have the match the pair. Like I said, this answer has been covered in your entire topic on the chapter behind your functions of management chapter. In fact, it would have been really worthy had the match the pairs been given mixed up from all the chapters. That would really make a challenging way. So if you wish, you can always take a screenshot of this match the pair, and that might save you some trouble of going back to the video. Move on to the second match the pair given in the question bank. Gap filling function is clearly one of the characteristics of entrepreneurship, item number 7 here. So you will see that when we are talking about entrepreneurship, it's one of the features. There's a gap between the demand in the market and need is created, but there is nobody to satisfy that need, and that's where an entrepreneur comes in. With entrepreneurship, this gap is filled up, and that's why the answer to this is entrepreneurship. Similarly, you will see entrepreneur. Again, we have the option of self-motivated, and that's what we have the answer for entrepreneur. Agrotourism is nothing but rural tourism. Technology again is latest knowledge. If you will see in any of the board papers, question papers, every match the pair has one correct and one incorrect, corresponding incorrect answer. Like you will see here, latest knowledge and old methods of production. So when you have marked latest knowledge, you must know that there is no answer for maybe old methods of production. So as we see, Stand-up India, there are two different types. There's Startup India and Stand-up India. There in the textbook, the Startup India has been mentioned and the options are 2016 and 19. So for Startup India, the correct answer is 2016. Please note, here we are talking about Stand-up India and the answer to that is your option number 9, and that is a false scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and women entrepreneur. If you see that Stand-up India is activity, is a scheme to motivate women entrepreneurs and SC/ST. So this is different from the option which is given in the textbook. I would request you all to take a screenshot of this or maybe even make the notes. I think agro-tourism we should mark here. Agro-tourism is option number C. So if you take a screenshot of this or maybe you note it down, it should be enough for you. We go to the third match the pair which has been given in the board. Once again, the third match the pair also is slightly repeated from the textbook. However, they have changed a few of the questions because in the textbook, the portion which has been given in the exercise match the pair, there are some cancellations. So here what you have, dear students, is after deleting all the syllabus which is not included in your academic year 21-22. So if you see here, Henry Fayol, once again, father of modern management, principle of unity of direction is clearly one head, one plan. All right, so we have this answer as B. Then again, you have nature of principles of management. To some extent, they've not really been precisely mentioned, but basically principles of management itself are general guidelines, and that's what should have been the question. In any case, doesn't matter. You have your the question, general guidelines, which is the answer to nature of principles of management. Similarly, you have a principle of initiative. If you see, initiative is nothing but to practice innovative ways. And so under innovative ways, your answer is D there. If you have principle of discipline, if you see what is left now, gangplank is again one of the principles of management. Scalar chain, team spirit is esprit de corps. Right to take decisions again is freedom of independence. Under this, F.W. Taylor, father of scientific management. So what's left is obey and respect rules. So try and figure out what could be the possible answers for this, and you're sure to get them. So remember this thing about getting the answers in pairs. Once again, I would like to request you all to take a screenshot if you like, or maybe you could just revise it from the textbook. As I said, there are 2 or 3 extra here. So talking about the next match the pair that we have. As you see, dear students, each one of these match the pairs that they've given are from certain chapters. One of them was on management functions. One of them was from principles of management. This particular chapter, if you see, all of these 5 are from the topic of insurance. Definitely in your boards, you're not getting in this format. Everything is going to be mixed. However, just for revision and for practice, this could be a just a simple revision. So talking about the objective here, if you will see, sprinkler policy is nothing but fire insurance, child insurance. You have a straight clue over there. It is suitable for children. So we will have that particular objective here. It is suitable for children, and we mark the answer number 9 here. All right. If you'll see the third one, money back policy, please remember this answer. If you will see that very, very different and useful objective you have here. Money back policy is something which gives you a regular percentage of the amount assured. Claim, Claim is nothing but a demand made by the insured to the insurer for loss. All right, so that's about how you have the answer for claim. Here again you have D as the answer, and insurance is nothing but protection from financial loss. So just simple options we have here, and that's what is important for your answers. Please make sure that you make these markings. Moving ahead to the next match the pair, you will see all the 5 that you have here are from the chapter of consumer protection. Like the previous one on insurance does not exist in your textbook, even this one does not really appear in your textbook. However, we will be marking down the answers for this. If you will see district commission. District commission, again, if you see that we are having different options, we nothing like none of these go. The only one works here is not less than 2 members. So when you're practicing these videos, please make sure that you are going to be first stopping the video and finding out the answers, and only after that you should be going up to what is written down or what are the markings being made, in case you've not found them, or actually you can compare your answers with this. Talking about consumer welfare fund, it is one of the ways and means of consumer protection which has been given, and this is done by a ministry which is known as the Department of Consumer Affairs. Similarly, right to choose is the freedom to select an article as per the requirement. National Commission, here again you see that 2 options have been given. Not less than 4 members is one of the answers, which is the correct answer for National Commission. And otherwise for state or district commission, it is not less than 2 members. Grahak Shakti again is an example of what we mean by an NGO, and that is why we call that is the answer for this particular objective. Once again, I'll just leave the screen for you to take a screenshot if required. And these are the 5 sample match the pairs. Please mind you, in your board exam, you're going to have all the chapters simultaneously, and it's not going to be really very easy for you to find. There is one correct and one incorrect. I would honestly request you all to go to old board papers, and from there you would have wonderful practice. So far, we have discussed choose appropriate alternative. There were 15 questions given in the question bank, as well as we've done 5 match the pairs. We shall stop the video here, and I would request everybody to please join in back for the next video, which will be on the other part of the question bank which has been given by the board. Thank you very much for now. Hope to see you soon.